It's the most wonderful time of the year. All right. Let's get that good energy in the building, that positive energy in the building on tonight. We are ready and on time. Praise the Lord. Amen. It has been a productive day. I want to bring light that I am the business owner of She's Got Teas. I mentioned last night, and if you follow me on Instagram, She's Got Teas, one word. She's SHESGOTTEES is one word. Do not go to got teas. Okay, I don't know. This hacking thing is getting ridiculous now. I don't know what's going on. They are on their job 24/7 with duplicating pages, with making fake pages. It's a lot going on, so beware. But I am the owner of She's Got Teas. I do have a lot of awesome, dope, trendy t-shirts right now that you can find on my website, www.shesgotteas.com. Also, I'm in support of the photographer Falana Aiken that I had on last night. Awesome woman. She is the owner of Santa Your Way. If you book with her and you desire to wear my t-shirts, you will get 10% off of a family of 4 or more. Okay? So be mindful. All you do is book with her. Show me proof that you booked with her and that you took the pictures, and I will refund you your 10% off for a family of 4 or more. All right? On tonight, we have the assessor for the village of Hempstead, and she is also a real estate salesperson. Her name is Miss Stacey Lucas, and I am super, super excited to have her on. It's not just girl power, but we are trying to empower, educate, encourage. We're trying to do it all on tonight, y'all. So I need you guys to stay tuned. If there's anyone you know who has been contemplating, going into real estate, every billionaire, millionaire you know has real estate, guys. You want to be involved. I definitely involved. Yeah. So let's do this. Good evening. You just have to turn your camera on.
It's different. You see me now?
Can you see me? I don't. I can hear you. You were just on, it clicked off. You must have hit something.
No, I don't. Hold on. Just give me a moment because it came at the bottom. Let me see. Lord Jesus. Oh, yeah, you're right. My camera did go off. All right.
Good evening, beautiful.
I'm sorry. I had it all
It's okay.
Yeah, let's do this again.
Listen, I am, when I say empower, encourage, and educate, that also means technology for me, because I am still learning this stuff. I promise you. No judgment here.
Let's see. Hold on. We had it, but I had to pick it up, and now I'm out of camera view. Okay. Let's see. All right. How's that?
You're fine.
I'm good?
You are good. I can hear you. Can you hear me well?
I hear you well.
Awesome. So I was just giving the viewers just a little rundown with your background and, just reminding them of the businesses that I do. But I'm excited to jump in. Welcome, Miss Stacey Lucas.
Thank
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So my first question to you is, what is your actual job title or titles?
All right. Well, my full-time title is Assessor, Real Property Assessor for the Incorporated Village of Hempstead. And I've been the assessor since 2008, but I've been in assessment since 1990.
Oh, wow. So explain to people exactly what is an assessor. What is assessment?
Well, assessment means to value.
Okay.
And a real property assessor values property or improvements or land. Land is anything that a land, if it's not improved, you evaluate vacant land, homes, commercial, industrial. It's if it's improved on, meaning that if there's a building on it, if it's not flat and it's not anything happening to it, and something's added on to it, that's an improvement, and that's what my job is, to value the properties in the village of Hempstead.
Okay, so if I wanted to, if I was looking for a space and I wanted to make like a parking lot, or put something there, some type of space to do event or something like that, so I would seek you out to see about the value of that particular area, that particular land, that particular lot.
Well, first of all, if you're going to buy it, you have to find out whether or not what you want to do, it's zoned for that.
Zone. Okay. So
So
explain to
you're going to buy.
people who know nothing about this. What is zoning, and what, where do you come in at?
You say you want to buy a piece of land, and with that land, your intentions are to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find out whether that local government, that municipality allows you to do what you want to do in that area. If they're not going to allow you to do it, then you're not going to purchase that land, because you purchase the land and can't do what you want. You just, not necessarily a great investment. So if you're going to buy something and you have a purpose, you have to find out from the local government, which would probably mean going to the building department to find out what the zoning is, what that area is zoned, what you're able to do in that area. And if you're not able to do it in that area, then you may have to seek what's called a variance. And that means you have to notify the people within a 100-yard radius of what your intentions are. You have to send notifications out, certify, return receipt requested, and then you will have you file with the zoning to have your day to find out whether or not you can have that property zoned for that.
Okay. So these are some of the things, people need to know. When you'll see some people, they'll jump the gun saying, I'm starting this business, or I'm opening up A, B, and C. And when people see that it didn't happen, these are the kind of things that can hinder it, correct?
Exactly. Wow. And you still want to find out, if you're buying vacant land, you want to know what the average vacant land is going for. And then certain areas, land is worth more than other areas. So you would try and find out what the value of that land is in that area if you're seeking vacant land. But you would do the same thing if you're not trying to buy vacant land. If you're trying to buy residential property, you want to know what the homes in that area, what's the average sales, the median sales price for homes in that area. And the median is, you take the homes in that area, you average it out, and you find out whether or not you're making an educated decision. So if the homes in the area are only going for $300,000 and this person's selling this house for $450,000,
mm-hmm.
you have to say to yourself, is that something I want to do? And how am I paying for it? There's a lot of factors when you're thinking about purchasing property. You have to think about the fact that if you're going to get a mortgage, mm-hmm. will it appraise? Will the bank give you money for it? Will it appraise for the amounts you went into contract? And if the bank doesn't, do you have the funds to make the difference?
Right. So do you feel that, in our community particular, that all the details you just explained is why people just decide to just not even do it? Like, they just feel like it's not possible?
I think people don't know, and they may not know who to go to, or they may not do the research, because honestly, I think it's bank rate. I learned they say that 79% of Americans feel like their greatest accomplishment is owning a piece of property.
Right.
So if you feel like that, if it's that high on the scale for you, then do your research or ask someone, because actually there are steps, but it's not, I don't want to say it's hard, because I don't really feel like it's hard. Mm-hmm. If it's something that you want to do, then I say do your due diligence, talk to some people. What did you do? Talk to some agents. You want to talk to people that really care, that's willing to listen. Right. And then you can find out certain things, because honestly, to get a home, it depends on how much money you have. Let's say you don't have a lot of money. You need 7% of what you're going to buy. So if you know that the bank told you that you may qualify to buy a home at $300,000, you need 7%. So 7 times 3 is 21. You need $21,000 $50,000 in order to get in that home. Because if you can go for an FHA loan, they usually ask for like 3 to 5%. And then you always need at least 2% for closing. So you
Right.
need about 7% to buy a home. But then there are programs that give grants to people to help first time buying programs. And first time buying programs, they may rehab a home for you, they may give you money to fix a home, they may give you grant money. A lot of times our unions will give us money. There's a
Right.
lot of avenues that you can look into to get a home. It's not just, oh, I gotta have X amount of dollars, but you do have to have X amount of dollars.
Right. That was great. So how did you get involved in realty? How did you get involved?
Well, I got involved in real estate because as a real property assessor, what do I deal with? Properties.
Right.
And I deal with all type of properties. And I've been here for quite some time. And I said, you know what, I gotta set myself up because eventually I'm gonna retire and I don't wanna retire and
Right.
do nothing. And since I'm in this field, I said, you know what, let me just do it. So I decided to take a course, took the course, passed the exam, and
There
that's
you have it.
exactly.
Right.
And you know what? To be an agent, you should have an agent that is willing to communicate with you. They have to be able to communicate well with you. They have
Say
to
that.
be able to listen to what the person needs. They have to be motivated for their client. It's it sometimes you could take a person and see 50 houses and they just didn't find the
Right.
house they want. So you have to know an area. If they say an area that they want, you have to know that area. You have to do what you can do to learn about that area. And if you put those things and have patience and you communicate well, you can get yourself a good agent and you can help your clients out a lot. All of that is factored into buying a home or buying a piece of property.
Right. So do you feel like, you hear things about, it's saturated, real estate is saturated right now, like nothing, what are some of the things that are said that aren't as true as it, people put out there?
What do you mean when you say saturated?
That's what, so many people saying, I want to be in real estate. I want to be in real estate. I'm one of them. I've been took my test. It's coming. I got 50 living jobs, but it's something I'm getting into in another way. But for
Right.
those who want to be hands-on, I'm just hearing just things that I've heard from people say, I want to do real estate, but it's saturated. Too many people are doing it. What do you say to stuff like that? For me, my personality says I don't care what everybody's doing. I'm going to do what I'm doing. So, what do you say to things like that?
I think we might have the same personality. Because you know what? Everybody is not a fit for everybody.
Right.
And that's a fact. So I don't think so. I think it depends on how much work you put it. To be successful, you have to put work.
Yes,
People
say that again.
A lot of times it may look easy, but that person puts in work and they have honed their craft to make it look easy. You see those ball players. Oh, it looks so easy, but they work hard to become who they are.
Right.
And if you want to be an agent, you can be an agent. You put the work in and you will get what you put in.
Right. Awesome answer. A very real answer. So when it comes to okay, we're on Long Island. We're in one of the most expensive places to live on the planet. We really, really are. It's no exaggeration. We really, really are. Do you find it to be harder, as an agent, even, when it comes to being an assessor, do you find it to be difficult where people have issues because it's so expensive here?
The taxes in Long Island is high. That's a fact. And because of that, it brings your mortgage amount up. So as an assessor, I always tell, this is my busy season. We're doing exemptions, and then the time comes to file to agreements to challenge your taxes.
Right.
Your taxes are supposed to be based on the value of your home.
Okay.
Right now, home values are high.
Right.
So challenging it may be a little bit more difficult, but that doesn't mean you don't challenge it. You find out what your house is being assessed at. And if your house is being assessed at $500,000 and that the neighborhood is only $400,000, file it. and by law, your tax bill shows the value on your house. Every tax bill has to list what your house is being valued at.
Right.
So you can just pull out your tax bill and find out.
Right. So are most people overassessed?
I can't say that most of them will assess. There are some people that diligently file agreements. They may not get a refund every year, or their assessed value may not go down, but they stay on top of it.
Right.
And the ones that stay on top of it usually pay less than the ones that do not.
Which is also a part of what you said, do your due diligence, educate yourself, study, and, look into these things. I feel like a lot of stuff that goes on connected to, like you said, assessment and, home ownership, people are ignorant to the details of things. So if I don't know about it, I'm going to be getting messed up. Like if I don't know about it, I'm going to be paying more than a person, who either took out time or who people have passed on the information. Do you think, I'm speaking about in our culture. I spoke about this last night. Do you think that a lot of times we hoard information, from each other?
We don't share it.
We don't share.
Yeah, because that's saying each one teach one, and am I my brother's keeper? Yes.
Right.
We have to help one another. If we don't help one another, who's going to help us?
Right.
And back to that, a question you asked in reference to buying a home. When you buy a home, taxes is price is important. Price is the number one thing that's important. But you know what's just as important? How much are the taxes?
Yes.
Because you get approved for a home. Not only do you get approved for a certain dollar amount, you also get approved for a certain tax amount.
Right.
Meaning that they say, okay, we have decided that you can buy a home and your purchasing power is up to $450,000, but the taxes cannot be over $12,000.
Wow.
I'm just giving you an example.
Right.
So you have to look at the taxes on a home. And what I suggest to all of my clients, if they're going to put their house up for sale, the first thing you do, please put in a grievance application.
Right.
Even if your day in court didn't come yet, or they didn't reduce it yet, you have it in, because now you can tell the people who are the clients who are interested in buying a home, well, you know what? I put in the application to lower the taxes. Mm-hmm. That helps out a lot.
Right.
Because banks look at that. They don't just look at the price, and they don't just appraise the property to be what it is. They also look at the taxes, because you got to realize, if you pay $12,000 in taxes a year, that's $1,000 a month, and your mortgage is going towards taxes alone.
Right. Absolutely.
You must realize that taxes are important. The amount that you pay are important.
Taxes
and
matter.
Then another thing you can learn too is that if you served our country during the war period, mm-hmm. and you are honorably discharged, you're entitled to a veteran's exemption. If you are an ordained minister,
nice,
you are entitled to a minister's clergy exemption. There's certain things that you are. If you're a firefighter or mm-hmm. EMS worker, you're entitled to an exemption.
I'm definitely ready to be a firefighter, because they got a lot of perks. I knew that was one of them. They got a lot of perks. They don't got to pay for gas. Like, they get everything.
Yeah. So there's different things that is available, to help, I guess, offset the price of the taxes.
Right. Now I have a question, and I always wondered this. I know in certain states, I believe Virginia is one of them, when you become a certain age in reference to being a senior citizen, mm-hmm. you no longer have to pay the taxes on your home.
Really?
Yes.
Now, New York has a senior citizen tax exemption.
Okay.
So it goes based on your income. Mm-hmm. The municipality will have their amount, whatever the amount is, the maximum amount, gross amount on your income. Mm-hmm. And it's a sliding scale. So let's say whatever your income is, if it fits in that bracket, you may get 50%, 45, 40, on down to 5%. And also another exemption that they have is Nassau County has what's called the STAR exemption.
We use STAR.
The enhanced STAR seniors, and that's an additional benefit off your taxes. So but I didn't know that you didn't pay any tax. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is very, and I was confused. I said, well, why wouldn't that be in every state? Because the thing is this, like I just said, with Long Island being so expensive, mm-hmm. and we have such an influx of people, we're overcrowded. So you have the veterans and, you know, those who maybe retired for years, their children have been children and they're moved out and now they still have their home on Long Island. They don't want to move. You know, they're losing their homes or their homes in for foreclosure because they can't afford the taxes on a home they've been in for years because it keeps going up because the schools are now overpopulated. Like there's so much involved. You know, I'm like, that should be in every state, I feel. You know, I think that would be a wonderful thing because it's almost like these are the people who raised us and who's done their due diligence, and now you're almost penalizing them for sticking around. Do you understand what I'm saying?
See, I don't agree with that though.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because when you first came into that area and you live, let's say Hempstead, you live in Hempstead and you grew up in Hempstead, and you may not have grown up in a house, you may have grown in an apartment. You need everybody to pay the taxes to help with the schools and everything else like that. That's why I believe that seniors should get a discount. I don't believe they shouldn't pay anything because when they were young, somebody paid the taxes for them, you know, and the cycle continues. The cycle continues. I do believe they should get a discount because they are now on a fixed income and then not able to pay the full amount. So yes, they should get a discount. I agree with that.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense now. Thank you for that. Because I'm saying my brain, you know, I've only owned a home for like 10 something years. You know, I'm one of those that came from a building my whole life. So I'm still learning about being a homeowner, but I'm also on the other end of being a parent. So I see that the school taxes is a big deal because the schools are packed. So it keeps going up and up. And all my brain is saying, when I get a certain age and my kids are in college and long gone, I'm still gonna be paying more and more taxes than I was because they keep filling up the schools. Like I feel some type of way about that. So that's how I looked at it. But what you said is also a very good point, and thank you for sharing that. So now my other question is, you know, as a realtor in this community, let me ask you this because you were also a part of, share with us the company that you work for real estate.
I work for Keller Williams Greater Nassau, which is in Garden City, 400 Garden City Plaza.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Keller Williams Greater Nassau.
Keller Williams.
But Keller Williams is the parent company, and then every office has their own name, and our office name is Greater Nassau. We're at 400 Garden City Plaza, which is Roosevelt Field, those buildings next to Roosevelt.
Right. Okay.
Right, in 400 Suite 438. And one reason why I like Keller Williams is because it's national. It's all throughout the whole country. Right. And if I have a friend or somebody that needs to say, Stace, I'm moving to such and such, you know, I can find them a realtor.
Awesome.
Williams that will help them out, you know, and it's like a family. It's really, I like it. And then also Keller Williams will be the #1 company for women.
I love that. All right now. Let's go, Keller. Okay. Yeah, no problem for sure. So now, what are some of the other goals you have in the field of real estate?
I'm trying to decide if I want to become a broker. I don't know. You know, my husband tells me you should become a broker.
What are the pros? What are the pros and cons? Share with us.
Well, it means I have to go back to school. You know, so I'm tired.
Well, what's the difference?
You know, and you get it.
Share the difference between the two because people really do confuse the two. They really do.
Well, a lot of brokers start their own business. They start their own company, like their own Keller Williams company or something like that. And you know more, and I think you may get more, but I don't know. I have to decide. That's something. I'm very happy where I am. I'm at the stage where, you know, I like helping people. And you know what? I find that most of my clients are first-time home buyers, and that's so
awesome. Nice. Yeah, that has to feel good.
Right, helping get their first home. It's really nice. So I don't know. I have to decide that because it's a lot. Real estate is a lot of work.
People right. It's not for everybody. Right.
It's a lot of work. You have to put the work in. But I like it, and I like the fact that when people get their home and they're happy and whatnot, I like that. I really do.
That's the part that I feel that I would be great at. I'm like, I love helping people.
Right.
I just want to be that person that's like, here's your key. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a great goal.
It has to be.
Really
it has to be a good feeling.
People, obtain their dreams. It's nice.
That's why you have to have a personality where you take it serious. I'll share a quick story because when I first was looking for a home, I had an awful real estate agent. And that's why when I'm like, I need to have Stacey come on and share, you know, everybody's not a bad real estate agent. I ran into one that was horrific. And God is so good because, you know, he ended up connecting a team for me. Because like I said, I'm from the hood. I grew up in the building all my life. So when I say I knew nothing, I literally knew nothing. So thank God I had a real estate attorney who was like, no, she ain't doing right. No, you're not doing that house. No. Like he knew what was wrong and, you know, stuff I didn't know. So to have a real estate agent who is on your team and not just looking to sell something, that is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal.
You said something really good just now that you don't even realize.
What was that?
When you buy a piece of property, you said you are so glad that you had a real estate attorney.
Yes.
You do not go to the doctor you don't go to a gynecologist for your eyes.
Right.
Okay.
Someone help us.
Ophthalmologist, right? Or you go to an optometrist. When you're buying a piece of property, I have a friend that's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
What do they specialize in? Do they specialize in real estate? Are they a real estate attorney?
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to a criminal attorney. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
People sometimes make that mistake.
Right.
You go to a real estate attorney. They know what's going on. And if you don't
He knew.
It could mess you up. It could cost you money.
He was no joke. When I say he fought for me, like he was calling me, like I told her no about that. I looked to see what it was. I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I was like, let her know, no, she's a single mother. She's an officer. You're gonna put her in danger. You're not gonna do this. That school district is horrible. He knew. Right. I didn't. So yeah, absolutely.
Facts. That's facts. Absolutely. I mean, that is big. You want somebody that knows the in and outs of that business, that if something happens, they can troubleshoot and handle it. And you don't have to worry about either the buyer, let's say you're listed and the buyer, somebody, attorney doing this and that. You need somebody that's going to advocate for you. So you get an attorney, make sure they're a real estate attorney, please.
Right. Absolutely. So, you know, I'm loving that you said, you know, where the company you work for is like girl power. Yeah. You know, do you guys have like events, you know, to encourage other people to come on board for real estate? Because like I said, you know, through the grapevine, you would hear, oh, it's saturated. Everybody's doing real estate. You know, but those are the naysayers who don't like trying nothing. But, you know, is it a thing where you feel a little intimidated? Like, you know, like what I do as an officer, we know it's a male dominated field. So off the bat, you know, we're always fighting for, you know, whatever. But, you know, do you feel like you as women, you have to prove yourself, not just to each other, but, you know, to the counterparts?
I'm a different person.
Right.
You do. But I tell you, Keller Williams just started great. They have their own real estate course now. So you can actually take the real estate course through Keller Williams.
Look, she's making me feel shamed.
No, but it just happened. And not just that, we all share. You know, so like if I bring somebody in, I get a certain percentage of their whatever the sales is, you know, but everybody helps everybody.
I love it.
You know, sales is cutthroat.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Whenever I have a problem, I can call somebody or I can call another agent for Keller Williams. They help you. They don't give you a hard time. And I think that's wonderful because I don't know all the answers, but I have no problem asking the questions. So, I mean,
you gotta be teachable.
No problem. Exactly. They help me out a lot.
I love that. Because that, you know, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends who are in real estate and they're not doing anything. Like they would flat out say to me, oh, Zillow is this and everybody doing the same thing. You're not going to get a list. You're not going to get a list. Everybody doing the same list. And I'm like, but other people progressing. Like, what do you be doing? Like, I'll be confused.
They're not processing.
Yeah. So what happens like when you hit, okay, let me ask you this. When is the best time to purchase a home? When is the best time to sell?
Well, right now, it's a seller's market.
Right.
What? If you want to get right, homes do not last long.
Yeah.
They don't last long. Every home I put on, I just put a home on the market last month. I put it on a Wednesday, and I had a sale on Friday. And I had an open house on that Sunday, so I continued with the open house. I had offers before. Right. I had offers before the open house, so I put it on the market Wednesday. And I had people that looked at it on Friday I had offers, and I said the owner wants to open house. We did the open house, and we got multiple offers.
Wow.
So it wasn't even a week.
Wasn't even a week.
It was
Okay, Stacey, I get it. No.
right now it is a seller's market. So that
Yeah.
means it's not necessarily a buyer's market. I mean that buyers have to pay a little bit more than they may have. But whew, if you selling your house, if you really want to sell your house, now is the time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Okay. We get it. Okay.
And let me tell you something that I have to tell people when they want to sell a house. First of all, there's certain things you have to do. Less is more.
Okay.
Don't have your house overcrowded. Don't have big, bright, bold colors. It pays to paint your house in neutral colors.
Right.
You have to take down.
That's why I usually have like the whites and the creams, right?
Or the gray. Gray is
right.
neutral.
Gray is going.
Right. You take your personal pictures down. Okay. And if you put less in the room looks bigger.
Right.
Make sure you bring all the light, open the windows, turn the lights on and everything else so it looks nice and bright. It looks airy and everything else. Put a plug-in in. Because sometimes we're not sure what our house smells like. Okay.
But other people be like,
you want it to be inviting.
Right.
You want it to be inviting. So they're like, oh man, it smells good in here. It's nice and clean and things like that. And honestly, if you're going to if you say, fix the things need to be fixed. Because before they go into contract, they're going to have a home inspection.
Right.
And the home inspector will most likely find what's wrong.
Yeah, I was actually because I did take the course and I didn't go back and take the test. And this happened like before the pandemic. So I kept having excuses. I'm working on the guys, okay? Praise the Lord. Working on myself. I did call back to see about taking a test, and my schedule was awful, so I didn't get to take the exam. But I remember one of the things that the guy was saying to us was like basically like exactly what you were saying. And even today, like just thinking about the little details that matter, what you bringing up the plug-in thing is funny because I got in an Uber today, and the first thing I recognized that the smell. Both, going back and coming back home, both vehicles, they smelled good. So that's funny to me that you mentioned the scent of a home. That's interesting. The little things absolutely do matter, because when I bought my house, it was very just like you said, simple little things that were just little cute little things, like something right here on the ornament thing, something right here, and it was bright open, and I'm like, oh, okay, make it feel fuzzy inside. So that's good.
You were able to picture yourself in that home.
Right.
You want them to be able to picture themselves in that home, not your pictures on the wall.
Right.
Seriously, those little things, believe it or not, it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And some people don't want to buy from certain type of people. Take a picture.
Right. Truth. So now I'm glad you mentioned that. Redlining.
It's illegal.
We know it. We know it's illegal. Explain what redlining is.
Well, first of all right. So what redline is, it's almost like steering. You cannot put a person in certain areas. You follow what I'm saying? What I do is I always ask my clients, what areas do you want to look at?
Right.
And I make sure I show them those areas.
All right. So explain, to those who have no idea what I'm saying. Why I'm asking, but explain what redlining is and what does it basically come from?
It's kind of, they don't want us in a certain area.
Who's us? Who's us?
You tell me. I'm being PC, politically correct. You tell me.
Who is us? Yeah, so that's what redlining is, when the realtor purposefully tries to not tell the clients about certain areas.
Exactly.
Purposefully. So that's what redlining is. You can Google it also, people who want to know a little bit more.
As a realtor, we cannot say that this area is a good school district. Right. We're not supposed to say that because that's stereotype. They say, well, how's the area? Well, I tell you, know what? Why don't you drive around the area and look? Because we cannot do that. Right. That's illegal. We could lose our license, or we can get fined by the state. but and another thing, like you said, sometimes they want to keep us away from certain areas. And I feel like your green is the same color green as my green.
Right.
If I deal with that, if I want to be in that area, please show me that area.
Right.
I don't care if the person wants that area, I'm gonna show them that area.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband recently. I don't know. We're looking into some things. We're dealing with properties right now, not in New York, in other states. But the person in conversation mentioned something like, the neighbors is why they had to move. Like the neighbors can make you like, make it hard for you. And we saw where the lady made the news in Valley Stream, where her neighbor was harassing her and her child. It was in a predominantly white area. This was a black woman with her child. She owned her home, and they were, calling her the N-word. They had signs up. They were like blocking her, playing loud music and throwing poop and stuff on her on her lawn. And so, the black community had to come forth and let these people understand, like, she's not by herself. So that was hurtful, and it was enlightening. It was enlightenment for us to understand, some people are going through things connected to the areas that they chose, their intentions are to have a better life for their child or their family, and they go into a neighborhood where not so much. People don't want you there. But for the realtor, they cannot tell you that. They cannot say, don't move there. It's illegal. Right. They can get in trouble for that. So be mindful.
She may have went to that area, she may went to that area because she really liked that house.
Right.
She really, this is the house I always dreamed of. This is what I wanted. That could have been the reason why she went to that area. But, in this day and age, we really have to learn to stick together more so.
Yes.
I feel like you have the right to live wherever you want to live. And you should be respected. And I'm going to respect you. And that should not be a kid. You wonder, you say, my goodness, we're still going through this.
Right.
Terrible. I'll tell you something. I used to work many years ago when I was in college. I used to work for a title company. And I used to type up the titles. So you buy a house, you get a title. Back in the days, do you know there were areas that we could not buy houses in? It was covenants and restrictions saying that you could not sell the house to a person of color. And they didn't say colored people. That's what it said. Things like that. And so now those covenants and restrictions are no longer valid. But it was there. I couldn't believe it.
Whew. The more things change, the more things stay the same is the same. So I have another question. I know you were, I don't know if you were on the board, but I know you were involved in AC. I don't want to say it wrong. What is it? Latin? Yes.
Okay. Labor Council for Latin American Affairs. I'm not on the board. I'm still a member.
Oh, you are still a member. Okay.
I'm still a member. I just resigned my position from the board because I'm just too busy.
Too busy, right?
And then when
explain to people, what that is, and what the entails. I'm going to it with the question.
Okay, no problem. So what it is, it's not a labor organization, but what it is because it basically comprises of mostly union people. Okay. And what they do is advocate for the rights of others, Latin Americans, not just Latin Americans, but minorities.
Okay.
Minorities. Help you with your job, you having problems. They help with the community and things like that. So I was involved in that. I actually was the recording secretary for many years. Right. And we would actually give out scholarships, and we would do all kind of drives, voting drives, and all different things to help the community. Food, whatever the situation was. But one thing that we had a gala every year, and we gave out scholarships to kids,
right,
to go to school and things like that. The pandemic stopped a lot of things,
right.
And I'm hoping that they have one next year. Usually it's in the spring, so if anything, they should probably be working on it. But honestly, it's a great organization, and that's a national organization as well.
Right. Say the acronym again. I'm sorry,
It was LALAA, Labor Council, Labor Council for Latin American Advancement. But you didn't have to be Latin and be a part of it in order to reap the benefits. You just had to be a part. Well, we sent out the applications to every school district in Suffolk.
Right.
Did the essay, and if you were picked, you got the scholarship. It was that simple.
So now, being here in Long Island, you've been an assessor for the village of Hempstead. Is there some type of how can I ask the question? Okay. When it comes to the difference in the ratio of the neighborhoods in Long Island, there's more of an influx of Hispanics in homes. How did that happen, or how can I ask a question?
Just say it.
They have all the homes. How?
You know what? I'm
How?
gonna tell you, I don't think they have all the homes, but I'll tell you, they work together.
Right.
They don't mind living together and pulling their resources together and being a family, a community.
Right.
And they will put it together, and they'll put their money together, and they'll eat and everything, and they will save their money, and they will go, and they don't, and guess what? A lot of times they don't have the high paying jobs, but what they
Oh,
do,
that's for sure.
right,
They work.
they will pull their resources together.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we can't even get along with people in our family.
But my thing is this. You have to, like the detail that you explained earlier about how to become a homeowner. Is it a thing where, because there's one home and everyone lives there, the goal is for everyone to become a homeowner? So is there, because there's more programs in place for them, but to become homeowners, how does that work in reference to the ratio of, you need a certain down payment, your credit need to be a certain way, you living in this country, does that have anything to do with it either? Like, how does it go to where they have it, like, everyone knows what they're doing, everyone has the goal, do you understand what I'm saying, and it's working? So what are the steps and the details to that?
I honestly have a different viewpoint on it. I think.
Okay, go ahead. I want to know.
Okay, I'm going to give you a prime example. I remember when I was going to Nassau Community College many years ago, and seriously, and I would fill out every single application, scholarship application I could, in order to get money to help pay for my tuition.
Right.
And I remember a lady behind the counter, and she was an African American woman. She said, "I'm so glad you applied to this." She said, "We don't apply. She said, "That's what?" She said,
Say it, Stacey.
So I think the reason why they may be getting grants and certain things, because they are applying.
Right.
And we don't necessarily apply. You cannot expect a handout. You have to be a part of it. You have to read, and you have to say,
Yes.
you know what? Oh wow, this is available. Let me apply. What's it gonna hurt? Let me apply.
Right.
Let me see what's happening. A lot of times we don't apply to the things that's right there in front of our face.
For us. It's true. I just wanted you to say it. I just wanted you to go there. That's what I wanted you to go there. Okay. Because I know. I already know. And you said something that's very significant. And it may be, somebody may be watching this and say, she's reaching. But because of where I work, I also understand that a lot of times people are illiterate. So the things they need to fill out and read, they don't understand. So instead of actually getting help with it, is, we don't have anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of actually doing the work or finding, an outlet to assist you, or seeing if there's an outlet that can help those who may not understand the language. Like I said, attorney, a real estate attorney or whatever, when it comes to grants and loans and things of that nature, it's just, instead of saying that or doing the work, doing the extra steps to receive it, it's, they don't have nothing for me. They don't have nothing for us. And that's not true.
And it's not true.
It's not true.
You have to be patient. You have to do the work. But there are a lot of programs out there.
They
are. A lot of times a lot of banks that you use have programs, first time buyers and stuff like that.
They do.
You have to ask.
Yeah. Because I think I told Vicky I was feeling some type of way. I was trying to get another property here. And I was like, let me call this union that I pay out my daggone check every week. Let me see what they got for us. And they ain't have nothing. He said, we give you, was it 300? My husband's outside. either $300 or something like that for closing, and that's
Well,
it.
take it.
Oh, I'm gonna take it, but I was still shocked. I said, "With correction officers, we making all of that." Well, not me. I don't make a bunch of money there because I don't live there. But you got officers making $200,000+ a year, and you gonna give them a punk $300 for closing? Like, you can't give them no kind of program. It was weird. But then there's other facilities that do have programs. You know, they have the officer next door type stuff, but you have to do the research. You have to look into these things. It's not just going to fall into your lap because we don't share information.
Not just that. Let me tell you a couple of programs. So there are programs, Long Island Housing Partnership. Everybody should always just type in Long Island Housing Partnership, and you will see
helpful.
so many boxes.
I didn't get mine through them. No.
Different programs.
I made so much money.
What? It may cost $100 or $50 or $20 or $10 to apply, but it's worth it. Because they're going to give you money, and when it opens, some people just keep looking at it, find out when it opens. When it opens, it's not open long because they get too many applications and it's done, and now they have a wait list. That's
right.
NACA, NACA.
Oh,
that's
right,
NACA program. And not just that, most towns, like the town of Hempstead, may have a first-time buyer program. The village of Hempstead, I know community development for Hempstead, they have it. It's only open for a certain amount of time. Look at your municipality where you live.
Yes.
You'd be surprised. Be surprised. The county may have first-time programs. Google first-time home buyer programs. What's it going to hurt? Beth Page.
What's it going to hurt?
They have it. There's a lot of programs, but people, I don't know if they don't know or they don't want to try, but I always tell people, get that free money if you can.
Yes.
Usually there's a requirement. You usually have to stay in a home for 10 years, 8 or 10 years, and then.
But time goes by fast. You could do it.
Exactly.
It goes by fast. You can do that. I was going to say also, you mentioned community development. They don't just help you even with the home thing. Like they actually gave me a financial planner because I had a spending money issue. So I'm all like, I don't make no money. The lady's like, yes, you do. You got to stop shopping. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I was like, hold on, lady. Like, hold it. And she was like, you make money. And I'm like, I do? She's like, yes. And she told me to stop. Y'all gonna judge me, and I don't care, okay? I do not care because we are growing and we're gonna be glowing. She literally said, stop going to Walmart. And well, no exaggeration, Stacey, I promise you, I literally abruptly stopped going to Walmart and I started paying off credit cards and stuff just like that. It was insane. Because I would just go there to spend $20 and spend $200 every time I went in. Just subconsciously. She said, stop it and see what happens. And I was like, and she said, I'll never forget it. She said, Ms. Alston, she said, I am so happy for you. And I'm impressed. I said, well, thank you. She's like, no, I'm serious. She said, we have people come in with hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt, and they don't have this energy that you have, and you're not even that bad. And I was like, oh, thank you. But that one thing changed the dynamics of my finances. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if I never did that because of this program, I'll probably still be like, I don't make no money, you know?
You know what I do? I'm going to tell you. First of all, I tell all my clients, if you're considering buying a piece of property, you do not buy anything. There are no big ticket items.
Right.
Credit cards. If you buy a car, it's going to affect your debt to income ratio. And banks look at that to pre-qualify you for. If you have so much debt, you're not going to get approved for a mortgage.
Right.
So you have to say
that again.
Pay. If you have a lot of debt, you will not be approved for a mortgage. So you're not buying a car. You're not buying all these high-end products.
Help somebody.
As a rule, how I live, honestly, whatever I buy this month, if I can't pay it off, I don't buy it. I pay it off.
Say that again.
Whatever I buy this month, I'm going to pay it off when the bill comes next month. Otherwise, I don't buy it. And that's a fact.
That right there, you're saving somebody's life. Did you hear what she said, people? Because I always get confused when I'm talking to people that say they want to own a home. Because they like you said, we think it's the most glorious thing to do is to own a home. So as soon as they hear that you do, they're like, oh, me too. I want to. And then they're like, yeah, because I just bought a car. I'm like, if you're trying to buy a home, why you keep trying to keep up with what cars is in? And you're really not trying to buy a home then. You must like saying it because you're not making moves like that's the goal. You understand what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. It's a
Another
personality
thing,
thing.
when you're trying to buy a home, don't try to buy the house that's all fixed up.
That's the other
Buy
thing.
buy the ugliest house in the block. Because guess what? Now it does. If you buy a house that's all fixed up, you may not, the equity that you get in is going to take a time for it to come because you're going to buy it at a higher price. But if you buy a house that's kind of, like got a Band-Aid on it, something like that, that needs a little fixing up to do, you fix that house up, you get it at a low amount. Now you're going to bring the value up. You're going to have more equity. It's right. Exactly. You have to see vision, because I'm going to be honest, when I bought my first home, people said something about it. I didn't care. It was barn doors. Barn doors. They had carpet in the bathroom. They had all kind of stains on the floor because they had a dog and this, that, and the other. And I didn't care. I liked the house. It had a big yard and everything else like that. And I said, you gotta have vision. And when I left, when I ended up selling the house, I sold the house for more than double that I put.
Wow.
That's
Love
a fact.
it.
So you really
smart.
Yeah. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to, do the L work and clean and do this, that, and the other. YouTube now teaches you how to do basically
It's life.
everything.
YouTube is life, I say.
Yes.
YouTube is life. YouTube University, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, let me ask this. Do you think Section 8 hurts or helps when it comes to people who want to own homes? Because, I know people that, and I'm not knocking anybody, because a lot of my friends, they are now homeowners, and it came from Section 8. They moved to wherever they moved to with Section 8. And I have friends who are trying to do that right now. But when I ask, does it hurt or does it help, in your opinion? Because, I also know some who have been literally on Section 8 my whole life. I
think it depends on the person, because, you could be on Section 8 with CDC, and CDC will help you pay towards owning your own home. Mm-hmm. There's programs like that through your Section 8. That Section 8 will go towards buying. You own a home and your Section 8 is paying for it. Wow. So it depends on the individual. Some people just
now how does that go? You have to have, I guess,
you have to apply for the programs. There's programs like NACA is one of the programs. It's one of the programs that if you have Section 8, that your Section 8 will help pay for that home.
So now, but you already have to have Section 8, you mean? And then you go to NACA to see if you can do like a rent to own?
No, you're on Section 8. Mm-hmm. And you I want to own a home.
Right.
The NACA program is one of the programs that will take Section 8 and use your money and help you get home ownership. Now, how great is that?
No, that's dope. Mm-hmm. Didn't know that, people.
Because everybody.
Did you hear that?
Because they want to
come on in here. Say again.
Everyone that's on Section 8 may not want to be on Section 8, but their income is in an area where they need help. And so Section 8 helps them to live a better life.
Right. So, but now, I understand that part. Now, my same question, does it hurt or does it help in reference to the taxpayers? Because like I said, you have one who actually wants to own a home. So they're like, Section 8 is not, I'm not about the life forever. And then you have the other ones who are like, this is my life. I ain't doing nothing else because it's going to be paid.
I don't know. I don't have that mentality. Okay. I honestly and truly don't know how to answer that question. I mean, there's always going to be some people that's not going to live up to their potential, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And there's always those that will and go beyond. Right. And if Section 8 is a stepping stone to help them, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, because I know I remember this me living in a building. So my whole thing was, I can't wait to get Section 8. Because my thing was, I'm going to have that until I own a home. I already knew as a kid, I'm like, I'm going to own a home one day. So that's always been one of my goals. Didn't know how it was going to happen, but I'm like, it's going to happen. But I also understood that Section 8 you can move around with it. So that was my thinking. So when I finally was called for Section 8, they was like, oh yeah, you don't qualify. I was like, excuse me? When I tell you I was tight, I said, well, who qualifies? I was mad. And the lady kind of chuckled at me. She was like, don't feel bad. I don't either. I said, no, you work here. She's like, but I understand we're both in a gray area because of how much money we make. I was like, well, I'm a single mother, and I'm running. I was running it down. I was with the hair roll and everything. And she was like this. I know. You don't qualify. I said, well, who qualifies? Like, it was confusing. I said, I done waited all this time, and now you're telling me I don't qualify. And then I would run into people that would move away. They had Section 8, and then they would come back. And I'm like, yo, what? Wait, what? Like, how does that work? And they're like, oh, well, the job I had was making too much, so I had to quit because I was going to lose my Section 8. And I say, wait, time out. Let me get this straight. Stop it, Vicky, tomorrow I want Section 8. I said, time out. So you had Section 8. You moved out of state where it's supposed to be cheaper, where you can have a certain type of job to actually own your home. You know what I'm saying? Without the Section 8. You said you don't want to work to make a certain amount, so you come back. I didn't get it.
That's a different mentality. You know that, right?
Right.
That's their mentality. Because if you
I'm talking about received it numerous times, like lost Section 8 and then get it back. I know people who have gotten Section 8 a bunch of times. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, what do they be doing? I know people who really need it, who really, really need it and can't get it. They're struggling. But others can get it 4 and 5 times and be like, yeah, I don't feel like living it no more. Lose it and then try to get it again. I said, what be happening? Like, it was, I don't know. But what I do love is, and I thank you for sharing, is that there are programs. Basically, bottom line is she's saying, guys, there are programs that if you do desire to be a homeowner, you can do so because there are programs that will help you, even if you have Section 8. I did not know that. So right. I'm hoping that helps somebody when you guys go back to this on YouTube.
Everybody can get a home. You can. Right. You know, just like you said, stop shopping.
Yeah.
Buy only what you need.
That thing changed my life. I promise you.
Right. And put your money aside. There's things you can do, you know, to try even investments and stuff like that. There's things you can do. Put your money aside. Stop shopping. Hold on to your money so that you can get your dream if that's your dream.
Right. Right. So now, I know you live here, right? But do you think that, because I know, like, in my brain, my thinking, you can help me out a little bit. When we know places like, you know, New York City, we know like a daggone brownstone can cost $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can do very, very well in real estate in New York in reference to that. Do you feel that, you know, Long Island is just a thing where, you know, it can be kind of hit or miss, you know, because we are overpopulated, but echoing.
Hit or miss in what way? Oh, you mean overpopulated? Houses are selling.
Houses are selling here on Long Island.
And people are moving out of the state.
Right. Boom. There you have it.
Yes. Houses are selling. People are moving out.
She just saved somebody's life. I'm telling y'all. Educate, empower, encouraged. Right there. People are moving out of state. So if you are here and you are trying to figure out if you want to own a home, it's a seller's market, but you can purchase. That's what she just said from the real estate agent.
And you don't have to buy the most beautiful house.
Right. You
make it the most beautiful.
And that. So now, do you know anything about flipping homes? I'm seeing a lot of people I went to school with, that's their thing. They're flipping homes. I really want to learn about that. You know, do you know anything about flipping homes?
Well, I actually had the privilege of flipping 2 homes. I actually did.
Oh.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Walk me through the process.
Well, thank God the real estate market wasn't the way it is now, because it depends. You have to have a team. If you're handy and you have capital, you know, when I say handy, if you're able to do work yourself, you save a lot of money where you don't have to actually contract it out or things like that. But when I did it, we were able to buy the home cash, rehab the home, and then sell the home.
Love it.
Yeah. So
do you mind sharing like number figure ballparkish?
So after all expenses and everything, and my share, the first home we purchased a home, and I think I ended up with like $70-something thousand, which is really great.
Really good.
I don't even think we did. I don't even think it took us 6 months.
Wow.
And then the second home, that home was like 2 months because I ended up having I bought this property, and me and somebody went in half. You know, you have to have a team.
Right.
And we were going to demolish the house because it was such a big piece of property and build 2 houses on it. But then we found out it wasn't zoned for that, and we didn't want to go for variance or anything like that.
Okay.
So somebody else, another investor said, "Oh, you got the house? I want to buy that house," and they ended up buying the house for us, almost double what we paid for it. We said, "Okay, you buy the house."
Sure, it can.
We didn't disclose anything.
I love it.
And we flipped that house, and that was it. That was actually wonderful.
I love that.
So, you know, but if you're going to flip now, the whole thing now is that you got to have the cap. You have to have the capital, or if you don't have the capital, you have to be able to obtain a mortgage. And if you obtain a mortgage, your insurance is going to be a little bit more because you're doing it as an investment property.
Okay.
You know, but your whole timeline is you have to think about everything. Think about the cost, how much is it going to cost for rehab, and then you have to have a little budget on the side, because once you start open walls, something always comes up.
Right.
Something. So you have to have a little, stash fund for little incidentals that come up, and you have to think about the area. If you buy the house, if the house is in the area selling for, I always like to get even numbers, for $400,000, and you buy this house, how much you gonna pay for it, and how much is it going to cost for rehab? So if I buy the house and the rehab and then closing costs, you got to make sure everything's in place where you're going to make money from it.
Right.
So you have to buy it low enough, and then think about all your rehab budget. So if you bought the house for $150 and your rehab budget is $250, and the house is selling for $400, then it might be a good sale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So you got to think about all those factors.
You got to plan it out. Think about all those factors. Yeah, me and my husband live on HGTV.
Me too.
We like, how much? Yo, look, like we be going crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta learn how to do this stuff. That is awesome. So you are an assessor for the village of Hempstead. You're a real estate agent, might be soon to be broker. You also know how to flip houses. You are girl team for what is it? Keller Williams. Because listen, I need y'all to Google that company, because I'm excited about that. I think that's awesome. Because in my brain, I don't think small at all. So in my head, I'm just like, if I go into real estate, I'm involved in real estate, but not hands-on like you are. But my brain says I will have a team full of women in stilettos and just showing like we out here killing it. Like that's how my brain works. And so you're already in that wave, and that's awesome. So quickly, because I know we're running out of time, I wanted to also ask you your opinion. This is your opinion. We were just at a conference with Grant Cardone. Very funny. But he kept saying something that was interesting to me, in reference to, when we were raised, our mother said, own a home. You want to own a home. He's like, that is crap. You don't want to own a home. I'm like, why would he say you don't want to own a home? Do you think, I watched that a lot of the people that are like, big into real estate, they don't own the homes they live in. They rent them. But really? They have the properties for other people to rent. But they never say, like, I'm going to own a home to live in. It's kind of weird. But do you understand why? Or do you not understand why?
I don't know exactly why. But if you think about it, they're kind of not saying the truth. They're saying don't own a home, but yet they own homes and they use it for investment purposes. Right.
They're saying like you should not be living in a home that you own. Like it's not an investment. You need to have investments. Like I can't. It's like a weird. Like you said, it's like a hypocrisy type thing. But I also understand it at the same time. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get it. Hey. If you can make the money, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Right.
Because one thing about real estate, it always goes up. The value always goes up.
Right. Because people were asking me, like, why are you getting properties in another state? And I said, well, I still have to learn about stuff in New York. Even though I live here, I just have the home I live in. But, it's a little cheaper in other places. So I have to get comfortable with how those are working first and then start to make some moves out here. So I always tell people, you do what works for you. I never tell somebody, why did you do that? that's their thing. So, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing details about certain things. I know I feel educated for sure, and that's the purpose of this platform. We want to be able to educate people on things that will help them to grow and to learn, because I want it to be a platform where we actually do share information, because we're not intimidated.
Right.
We actually want people to learn how to live their dreams, because that's their dream, to own a home. And this, we want to be able to share these things, and also have the platform to help others, to increase their income, or, bring light to their companies, because I'm hoping that when you're done with this, people start to follow you and say, well, I know a real estate person because they were on Shanice's podcast. They were on Lady She's podcast. Right. So go check her out. And that's what happens. Iron sharpens iron. That's what we need to be doing for one another. It should not be the whole crabs in a barrel, the whole, oh, it's mine, mine, mine. Because as we know, if you keep a closed hand, you can't get nothing. You can't give anything. So, thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you for having me on.
For sure. I know you're a wife, you're a mom, you can speak about that if you like.
Well, I'm a mom of two. I have, my oldest is Ashley. She's 29, and right now she is a digital entrepreneur. She does investing and things like that, NFTs.
And you do too, correct?
Right, but I don't know anything compared to what she knows. She actually is teaching me, which is great.
That's awesome.
And my son, Nathan, he's 22, and he works with what do you call it? Specially challenged adults, and he loves it. Yeah, and I never thought that he actually loves what he's doing, and I'm proud of him, And then I'm married to Jeff. We've been married 2 years. We all had the 19s, 2019,
honey.
Right. Yep. So life is good right now, and I appreciate it. You work hard, and I'm happy for that, and I just want my kids to be independent so they can manage on their own and things like that. And I'm at a stage in my life where I'm ready to open up another chapter.
Ain't you already have? You doing it? You doing it, honey?
I know.
So looking at all the hats that you wear, like, how do you navigate everything? Like, are you like super duper like organized? Like, are you one of those people that are like, no, this is how my life is. This is this. Like, how do you navigate all these hats that you wear?
Time management. You have to have time for everything, and you have to, schedule and my parents. I'm number 5 of 6 children.
Wow.
So my mom, you're correct. My mother could have ran right. She could have been a warden, or she could have seriously, because she had us in check, and she had us on schedule, and she had us do certain things, and you don't realize how important your upbringing is.
Absolutely.
Because it actually carries on into
your
adult life. And you may not have understood, you may not have liked it, but boy, do you appreciate it as an adult.
Love that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that I didn't really understand until I became an adult.
and a parent.
Reading, my mother always had to read. We read a lot, and I'll read, this, that, and the other, and everything was time. She had us on a schedule, different things. And so it wasn't that it was so regimented, but it allowed you the opportunity to do things more, focus on things in a certain kind of way, time and place, everything. And that helps me. That actually helps me. Sometimes, you have to be flexible.
Right.
But overall, it helps me a lot. It really
I love that. Listen, you helping somebody because you helping me too. I'm working on all of that. I promise you, I am working on all that, because nobody wakes up and say, I don't want to do well at A, B, and C. You wake up wanting to do well, so you want to be efficient, and you want to be in routine. You want to also have peace of mind, while you're progressing and while you're making strides and completing goals and things in your life. So you want to have peace of mind and look at yourself and say, I'm a go-getter, or I did that, and what I did today is going to help somebody. I gave somebody the key to their first home, and I watched tears come out their face. I watched their child, hug their dad's leg and say, we got our own home. That's a big deal. It may sound dramatic me saying it. It is a big deal. So, we just thank you for your service. And I honestly, I truly, I was nervous about tonight because I'm like, because we know each other. I'm like, I hope Stacey, she's okay with sharing things. But this was very informative, and much success to you and all that you desire to do. We're gonna speak that you're gonna be a broker. We're gonna speak it because that's what we do. We're gonna speak it because those kids is doing that thing. And also do share, because I know you are tapping into the Bitcoin stuff with your daughter. You can share that. I would love for her to come on her own time, to share that. My godmother Vicky is her close friend. They're all doing this stuff, teaching about the Bitcoin thing. You can share, a little bit about what you're doing, and then we'll close out. I keep saying it, but then we'll close out for
Well, the truth of the matter is, I really would, you need to talk to her, because
okay. I would love to interview her.
Yes, I'll tell her that.
Okay.
But there's so much, everything now is turned to digital currency.
Yes. They need to know.
Currency. You'd be surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm on that.
You can make money as the value goes down.
Yeah.
And you can make money as the value goes up.
Right.
It's crazy.
I can't wait to share that.
Things that we didn't learn growing up, it's so different. It's crazy. So they're now buying
so much. NFTs.
Yes. And non-fungible tokens.
Yep.
And metaverse, which is Facebook. Everything like that. What? There's so much. Oh my God.
Listen, I yell at people, especially in that jail. I'm like, you're getting on my nerves. Keep coming here. I'm like, there's so much ways to make money. What are you doing? I promise you. Listen, I'll be mama in there. I'll be little mama in there. I'm like, they're like, Miss A, wait, hold on, I know. I'm like, what is, you too smart for this? Like, there's too many ways. We did not have social media. You have social media. You know how much you're going to win just that alone? Like, there's no reason to be breaking the law right now. That's why I don't understand hackers. I'm like, there's other ways to make money. You could be a millionaire doing YouTube. Like, that's my goal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, we got to do better than what we're doing. But yes, I would love to have her come on. We will definitely talk about that, off screen. But once again, thank you so much for coming on, Miss Stacey Lucas. Everybody, please follow her. Give us your Instagram page.
Okay, it's at Stacey. It's spelled phonetically, not the way my name is. STAYCEE 705. So it's at STAYCEE 705.
Okay, all right. Yep, I definitely messed it up earlier, so I'm glad you said
my name is spelled STACEY, but
right, and that's what my brain naturally said that. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna share everything in the description on the YouTube page and on the Facebook page. Stacey, thank you so much. I know you routine child, so I'm getting you out of here. Tell Jeff I said thank you. We know he has you. I know he knows. Tell the children I said hello. Even though Nate but don't remember who I am. I remember him. But once again, thank you so much. Do you have a quote, a scripture, or any statement you just want to leave with the viewers, when they remember, like, I saw this lady on his YouTube one time, Stacey something, and she said this. Like, is there anything
I don't really have? I always believe that we're supposed to help each other.
Right.
That's how I was raised. And I'm the type, I'll try, and if I don't know something, I'll try and find the information out to help it. I just believe that we need to help each other more so. Be kind to one another,
Love
Thank you, Denise, for allowing me to, share whatever the little bit I do know.
Plenty. Plenty. That was a lot, because I'm going to go back to this. I hope you know that. Okay. I'm going to go back to this. And everybody, please subscribe to my YouTube page, Hot Mic with Lady She. Y'all continue to pray for me. I am having so much fun doing this, and I'm learning. And that's the goal of this thing. So, like she said, we gotta be able to share and be there for one another. We all want to win. Like they say, the bottom is too crowded. We want to be at the top. So, let's get there. Let's learn. Let's win. Google University, look up about the zoning, everything that she shared with us. You guys need to be in your phones, on your laptops or something. If home ownership is a goal for you. She even tapped into flipping home, which I'm definitely going to be looking into that for sure. Please go back to this, subscribe to the YouTube page, and give me your thoughts, give me your comments, whatever it is that you feel. You can contact her. Do you want to share an email also, just in case?
Well, my email is just almost the same. It's the same, Stacey 705, STAY705 @gmail.
Okay, say a little slower one more time.
STAYCEE705 @gmail.
@gmail.com. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Stacey Lucas. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Thank you, Shanice. You too.
Good night, everybody.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on, everyone.